Hey guys, welcome back to Homestead Prepping and Survival. Today I want to talk a little bit about medical supplies. So as I've said in a video a good while back, I got critically low on medical supplies after the last separation, divorce, whatever. Most of that stuff found a new home, so I basically had to almost start over. And what I've been doing, and I thought this was a good idea for y'all, would be I take this tote or a tote, box, whatever you've got. You don't have to go spend money on it if you don't, have necessity for it. But start buying one or two extra of things and put it in this tote. So, every house in the United States has some type of Tylenol. So you can tell that is a generic acetaminophen and 500 count bottle. I've got another one in my bathroom that I keep in there that's new, that's opened. I ran completely out, and I should never have, but I did. And I'm not one that takes Advil, because one of the prescription drugs I'm on for this joint pain. But I do have generic Advil stored, and there's another one there, and a few others down in there. But one thing with the Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever, I take a potassium vitamin twice a day. So I've got a couple of years supply of that in here. And then a lot of people suffer from heartburn, either frequently or all the time, or, once in a while. Either way, I bought some of these larger bottles of Tums, and then a regular bottle, and I keep some on the bathroom counter as well. But it comes in handy. It's something you're going to need anyway. So why not buy that extra bottle once in a while and get yourself stocked up on it? And then, these, you can tell I've had some of these a while, but peroxide, a couple different brands, and it doesn't have to be the high dollar stuff. But I've got 6 of the larger bottles of peroxide here, and I've got 4 of the larger bottles of alcohol and a small bottle. And yeah, alcohol got really hard to get with the 2020 mess that went on, but this is the 91% alcohol, so it's a little bit stronger than that, 70% or whatever. So get what you can, of course, but you can get it now relatively cheap. And then, the old timers, mineral oil, or as us some folks used to call it, castor oil. If you had a problem going to the bathroom, your parents would give you a tablespoonful or 2 of that, and that usually solved the problem within a day or two. And also, if you cursed when you wasn't supposed to or something, they'd give you one. That was a punishment, because that stuff's real thick and nobody wanted it. But anyway, and then I've got, I take a fish oil vitamin, so I've got a couple extra bottles of that. And then betadine solution for when you do have really important wounds, or bad wounds that you're going to need doctoring. That can come in handy, and I have another one back there that I use. And then, which I'm trying not to dig all this out, but surgical sutures, I've got more, but this one is, let me see what it says, how many's in there. I can't read it. They're number 4, so I mean, a lot of people prefer the number 3, but it is what it is. You get what you can get when you're trying to prep, and it could be a lot worse. I can't remember how many. 12. So there's 12 in each box. And then I've also got a blood sugar test meter in here with everything it needs in the little pouch inside to check your blood sugar. I have used it. My daughters have used it. It works. So, you may find somebody that needs it. And then I've got, this is the one that we opened for that, the test strips. I've got, as you can see, 3 more boxes of the test strips, and there are 50 in each one. So I've got a couple of hundred of those. And then, of course, the finger prick needles. So, something that I didn't even realize I had I've had a while is this stuff here, and I don't even know if you can buy it, but it's basically a painkiller that you just rub on. So if you've got someone that you can't give pills or something to help, like Tylenol, Motrin, Advil, whatever. This can help with the pain a little bit. And this is the first medical kit I ever bought, and it's empty because I've went to a much better one, but I keep that in here just in case I need to help somebody get started. And then a box of latex gloves. And my oldest daughter's allergic to latex, but you know, you really need them in your preps. And then, of course, I've used one of these because I twisted my ankle several years back, and but these things work well. They don't last forever, but they do stick well and support a sprained ligament. And then you've got, and I bought this off of Amazon, as y'all can tell, but the Tussin style cough medicine, and I've got the one for the blood pressure or kids. I've got the one for the adults, and what else is in here? Multivitamins. 100% multivitamins for adults. A couple of these. These are actually dissolvable things that you put in there, and it dissolves on or under your tongue. And then I've got others down here that are one daily vitamins, because you're going to need that if you're not eating as healthy as you should be. So things like that can come in handy when crap hits the fan. And of course there are, you know, some more potassium, where these are potassium. That's same thing, different brand, but 100 in each bottle. So that's something I don't want to run out of, because I cramp a lot if I'm not taking it, and I still cramp more than most people when I am taking it. And then, and I don't have all my prescription meds in here, but I do have one that I've had extra. I guess I lost it, I don't know, and found it, but I've got a bottle of something that I take every day in there. And another thing would be some of these hand warmers, because if somebody is cold in the winter and you're trying to warm them up quickly, you can take those and put them under the armpits and around the neck and in the crotch, and try to get somebody out of that hypothermic temp zone. So they could come in handy, and there's some more down there. And then of course some triple antibiotic cream, and there is some medical bandages, and some sanitizer down there, little bitty bottles. I've got several of those in there. But then, you know, 4-inch bandage for whatever wound you're needing to close up after it's been cleaned and all. So this is nowhere near what you need in a medical kit, but it is a good way to start. Get you a box, get you a tote, whatever it is, and every time you go shopping, if you just get one thing or two little things and add it to that tote until you fill the tote up. And this tote is a little over half full, so I've got more than I can add. I wouldn't add any more bottles like this, because I don't want to lay them on their side just in case something happens and they leak. So these are all standing up. And then I will add more things like the dry pills in the bottles and stuff, and bandages and that kind of thing across the top until I fill this up. And then it'll go out to my storage. Climate control storage, by the way. But anyway, it's just an idea, and didn't know if any of you have thought about that. And I even a buddy of mine made this for me years ago, so this may be an idea that y'all would like. I don't have my camera stand out here, so I'm gonna have to hold it. But basically, this is just a little stand, and then he took this little Frito-Lay cheese dip or whatever can, and peeled the label off, of course, but he wrapped the entire inside with cardboard and put a candle in it, a candle wick in it, and then poured melted wax over it so it's soaked in. And this thing will burn for many, many hours after it's lit. So you can use this in a small space for emergency heat, which is why it's in the medical kit, or you could use this for emergency light, but it's with the wax soaked into that cardboard and all that's in there, it was really a good idea. I don't know where he got it from. I'm sure I've heard of it before, but he made me that. So he made me this little stand that you could set it on to keep it up off the table or whatever. You would not want this around children that could mess with it, of course, but it's a great little thing, and it's really compact, easy to store, and could come in handy in some extreme temperatures. So anyhow, guys, I hope I sparked some thought pattern for you, and you can see right through there what I've got in there. But I hope it got your brain going and your thought process. And prepping for medical is nowhere near as hard as people think it is. Yes, I've got sutures, and I've got more. That's only 24 of them, and I've got more than that. But a lot of people don't. But what you can do is the alcohol, the hydrogen peroxide, the mineral oil, your normal over-the-counter medications and things that you use every year, every season that comes around where somebody catches a cold or a flu or whatever it may be, you're going to use it anyway. So why not buy extra? And then when that time comes to buy more, you buy it, put it in your tote, and then take the oldest one out. So you've always got a good rotation on it. But most medical supplies or medicines are good way past their sell-by date. Like I had a doctor tell my brother one time, because him and I both have had many kidney stones, and they gave us, the Vicodin or whatever for the pain. And my brother had some that he'd had so long they just turned to powder. And the doctor told him, I don't care if it's powder. You take about the same amount. It's still going to do its job to help you deal with the pain. So, yeah, it may just fall apart because it's past its shelf life, but the painkiller still works. So I can't say that for everything. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm telling you what we were told. So, do your research and find out that for yourself. I in no way want to give you any advice on medical, but I do want to help you get started prepping and show you how easy it is to get started prepping. You can start with a much smaller tote than this one. You can see this is a really large tote. It's over 3 feet long. It's, a little over 1.5 feet or foot so high, and over 1.5 feet wide. I mean, it's a big tote. You could start with a much smaller tote. Just put what you get in there, one thing at the time. And if it's something that is really perishable, I wouldn't advise putting that in with this without doing some other kind of prep, like vacuum sealing them so that you can keep the air and moisture away from the products. But this stuff here comes pre-sealed, so I haven't opened all this important stuff. The bandage, yes, but the rest of the stuff that's sealed, no. So anyway, I hope I helped you. I hope you found it helpful, and maybe get your brain going and get maybe you and your partner or whoever the head of your family is that does the shopping can start picking up little things, because one day you're going to need it. And there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of extra when times are hard, or when you don't have the ability to run to the store, or the store may not be open to get things that you need. There's nothing wrong with having extra. I would advise rotation like I talked about earlier, but anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to the channel and share it when you can. And remember the 2 things that I always tell you. Jesus loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe and be prepared.